If you keep going down this road, you're going to end up being, dead, crippled, or in jail.
The king of Texas, Vince Young Jr.
I've never seen anybody like him in my life.
I was running with the wrong crowd. I was fighting.
You had a choice at one point on which direction your life is going to go.
You got to make sure you got the right people around you. This is real life.
If you could go back in time and talk to yourself when you were 18, what would be that advice that you give yourself back then? Welcome once again to the Potts Power Podcast, our first episode with the legend, the GOAT of UT football, Vince Young. We're so excited today. Vince and I met years ago at an event in Austin, and it's great to see him again. It's been a few years, so thanks for coming.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
So you were record-setting championship quarterback of what I think today is arguably the best college football program in the country. You had a great NFL career following that. For just the average person out there, how would you describe your life and all those experiences that you had?
Well, the main thing, it was definitely a blessing for one, because a lot of people don't know my background. They don't know that I come from a single-parent home. Just my mom, my grandmother, and my two sisters. That's pretty much who raised me. And then when I had an opportunity to get out of the household, it was like my high school coach, Coach Ray Sills, my pastor. I had some good mentors in my life that I felt the way they carried themselves. They was married. They took care of their family. They was in the community all the time. Coach Ray Sills, one of the legendary high school coaches that ever came through out here. And I had him as a disposal to talk to him anytime I needed him. And he saw that leadership, and he saw I can do some things, not only just in the football world, but also just everyday life. And I took that. I didn't understand it at first, but as the years went on and the accolades and the awards and things like that, and people gravitating to me, my peers in my neighborhood as well as my schools, I always wanted to be around me because of the way I carry myself. That's when I kind of felt that, I'm finna really focus in on this so I can leave a legacy for my kids, which I'm doing right now.
I think a lot of kids that experience what you experienced growing up, you had a choice at one point on which direction your life is going to go.
Oh, yeah.
And who helped you make those choices?
I can honestly say my mom. My mom was strung out on drugs for a while, and she did the whole everything you could think of. She used to fight men. She used to, when she got in fights, she used to be at Madison and then leave Madison, and then now she's at Worthing, and now she's at Yakes. She went all around all the HISD schools out here because of her behavior. And the thing that she was seeing in me that I was doing as a young man, I was running with the wrong crowd. I was getting in trouble. I was getting detention. I was fighting. I was going down the wrong path that she saw in herself, that she said one day, Vince, you're going to end up dead, in jail, or crippled. So, when you talking to when your mom is yelling and screaming at you on the way home from getting in trouble at school, you're not really listening to all that stuff. You like, I don't want to hear this as a kid. Yeah. But I actually was listening, and that's when I heard when she said, hey, if you keep going down this road, you're going to end up being, dead, crippled, or in jail. And that's pretty much what I was seeing with my peers and my friends. I had seen guys get shot and killed. I saw guys going in and out of jail, and guys in the hospital from being shot. And that's what I was hanging out with these guys, but I was the only one that didn't get touched yet. So that message before spring break, I actually had a big fight at Dick Dollar Middle School. Well, it's not called Dollar anymore, but before going to spring break, I had a big fight, big brawl with one of the Hispanic gangs, one of the big gangs out here still to this day, had a big brawl. And that message hit me because I felt like if I would have kept going doing that, I was going to be what my mom was saying, and it kind of hit me home. So I give my mom a lot of respect for, especially a boy, stand on me. And I saw that, and that message really hit home to me.
And then sounds like the coach played a big role in your life growing up and sending in the right direction also.
Yeah, a lot of my coaches, even my AAU coaches. So when in the summertime, when most kids get in trouble, I was playing basketball. I was always active. And my mom did a great job of like, no, you're not finna be sitting at this house and going outside and running with these knuckleheads. That's what she used to call us, knuckleheads. And she made sure that I was in football. She made sure I was in AAU basketball. So most of the time I was traveling. I was gone. I was doing something, seeing the world, which a lot of kids that I tell today, or mentors or parents and coaches, like, I really feel like when you bring that kid out of his environment when he's seeing negative all the time and let him go see some different things, I feel like that that resonates to them, to see, like, I can do something different. And I can honestly say that my coaches and my uncles, when stuff was getting negative, they took me out of my neighborhood and took me around Houston. I remember taking me to Olympia and seeing Warren Moonhouse. I'm like, wow,
Right.
I can have this. I can be living like this. So the message resonated to me that if I stay my butt out of trouble and work hard and take care of your responsibilities, you can make a name for yourself and do something different than what you see in your own environment right there.
So when you were growing up playing high school sports, who were the professional football players that you looked up to?
Well, one of my childhood friends was Dalford Coleman. He was a quarterback at Madison High School, and he was a childhood friend of mine that lived in my neighborhood. So I looked up to him big a lot. Marcus Marshall's, the whole Marshall family, I looked up to them. Um, Moran Norris, he played at Madison. He played for the 49ers for a long time. Also played for the Houston Texans for a little bit. And then Steve McNair was my ultimate guy. So when I had opportunity to go to his football camp in Mississippi, I feel like that changed my life because we had similarities. We didn't have our father figure in the household. We played the same position. Um, um, and the way that he gave back during his football camps, I just felt like the similarities were right to the top. And for him to take me underneath his wing throughout my high school and college career, all the way to the pros, as it just showed what type of man he is. And I really feel like having that relationship with him, to help actually help me, get to, reaching my dream.
Now you played high school basketball too, didn't you?
Yeah.
How did you decide basketball versus college football?
Well, it was Coach Brown. So, you know, I, in high school, I played both and enjoyed it, and throughout play AAU basketball, and I love basketball still to this day. So I was trying to go play at UT for Coach Bowens, and Coach got word of it, and he was like, Vince, you're not playing basketball. So that career kind of ended right there when I got to college. So I kind of just stayed focused on football when I got to college. But I did wanted to play for Coach Bowens, and I had a good relationship with Coach Bowens as well. So I was always over there trying to, Coach, let me play. I want to play. Let me start running a little practice stuff with the guys and things like that. And I guess Coach Brown got to heard of it. And he was like, boy, you're not playing no basketball. So it's a funny story.
When did you first decide you wanted to be a Longhorn?
I say towards the end of my senior year, it wasn't, UT wasn't really recruiting me like that. They didn't really start coming to the picture until my senior year. So I had guys like Notre Dame and Arkansas, Miami, K-State with Coach Snyder. I had those people in my mind because they was recruiting me from the start. And Florida State, which I wanted to go to until they sent me a letter saying they wanted me to play wideout. So that crushed my heart because I was a big Charlie Ward fan. So getting my first letter from the school I wanted to go to was Florida State, and seeing that, when you get a letter in writing, they mean it.
Yeah.
The type ones is okay, but when you get the letter in writing, they say that's when they really want you to come. And I saw wide receiver, and that crushed me. So that year, went to the Army. It used to be Army All-American, but it's All-American game now in San Antonio. A lot of the UT guys was there that already signed and want to go to, like Casey Stutter, Rod Wright, all these guys. So they was recruiting me the whole time at the All-Star game. And then I had some good relationships with TJ Ford and some other guys, and they was already on campus. So when I took my visit, they took me to the Baylor game, Texas Baylor game, and TJ comes out with the microphone. And it's like, hey guys, we have one of these top quarterbacks in the building. I want y'all to give a little love to Vince Young, and the whole stadium goes crazy. So as a young kid, you seeing this like,
Yeah.
I need to be at Texas. And so I think I signed that evening.
That's awesome.
So TJ had a big part of that.
Yeah. Well, how big of a deal was it that Coach Brown was the coach back then for you?
It was big because once he came into my in my environment to recruit me, sat down with me and my mom and everybody, and he was a gentleman. And one of the things about me, if other people know, I have a lot of respect for women, period. So, because I'm raised by them. So when I see somebody with that same similar trait, that he came in and made sure he was very respectful. We didn't have a lot of chairs and everything. He sat on the floor with me, and just, we just talked about what he wanted me to do, to come to Texas. And for him and the rest of the coaching staff, Coach Davis and Coach Drake that passed away, um, for them guys to step in there, you can tell that, and Coach Tim Brewster as well, another phenomenal recruiter. Um, you can tell what their mission was. It wasn't just football. They get it, family. And that's what I wanted to be a part of, because that's what my backbone is. That's what I'm raised in, the family environment. And to see that with Coach Brown and the rest of the coaching staff, as well as the wives, making sure that they're like our second mom from away from home, it was restful history from that.
Yeah. How would you describe Coach Brown's coaching style compared to other coaches you've had?
Well, one of the things about Coach Brown, it took a while, first of all, for us to get him to where he's at today, because he didn't want to change at all. But in the same time, he was a traditional coach. But what people don't know about Coach Brown, he cared about you as a young man. So a lot of coaches don't do that. A lot of people are coaches first, then player. The ones that are player coach, that it's about you as a young man, I want to see you prosper in life, those are the ones that you see tend to be successful. Even Andy Reid is like that. That's why he's doing so good. Even though he's a great play caller and a great coach, but a lot of people don't know behind the scenes, he talked to you. He check on you. How you doing? How's your family? Is there anything I can do to help you? Like, that matters to a player, because again, once we leave that facility, once we leave campus, we have a whole life going on. And for your coach to take the time out to care, to give a damn, I love that about Coach Brown. And I know that happened to not only just me, but all my teammates. And I even know that happened in North Carolina when he was there for those years. Everybody like, why is he still coaching? It's not that he just have a passion for making sure kids are going in the right direction. And you can't coach that. That's just who he is.
And I hear he's still close to all his players today.
Yeah.
You still talk to him?
Oh, yeah. I try to keep in touch with him all the time. He just got an award from the Dave O'Brien, coach award as well. So, we try our best to stay in contact. And that's one thing he said, don't let this Rose Bowl be your only respectful memory that you have. Make sure you become a good dad, great guy in the community, great husband, great, all of the above. So, so the good thing about all of us, that message resonated to us. So still to this day, we all hang out together. We all play golf. All our kids are just about the same age. Our wives hang out together. And then you got Coach Brown and Coach Sally still coming around, hanging out with you as well. So that's a beautiful thing to show that how dedicated that him and Miss Sally is. Of, even 20 years later, he still loves you the same way that he loved you when you first walked on campus. So that just speaks a lot about him, what type of person he is.
It sure does. I want to talk a little bit about your stats. So from what I understand, you still are the biggest single rushing quarterback at UT, over 3,000 yards. Is that still right?
I have no idea. I haven't looked in a while. I thought Sam Ellinger probably beat me already. Them guys are, changing the game from the passing game and everything. Even Quinn did a fabulous job, and I already know Arch finna do some things as well. So I don't know what the stat line. I don't really focus on stat line. I just mostly focus on being that quarterback that I always still check on people, like being that leader that I was. Hey, how you doing? Stuff like that. Or
Were you? I mean, you were a big rusher back in the day. Were rushing quarterbacks back then as sought after as they are today? For example, like Lamar Jackson.
it's big now. So when I played, a lot of people said that I'm playing before my time. So I'm coming from high school and middle school, we ran the veer. So a lot of times I was running the ball a lot. So that's why I made it kind of look easy, finessed a little bit, but it all started from little league up to high school. And we was running the veer. It didn't start till my senior year that we ran a spread offense, and I really started throwing the ball and learning how to be a passing quarterback. And then when I got to college, I was a little bit behind on that, knowing different coverages and reading defensive linemen and, different alignments, how these guys, I learned that a lot of that when I got to college. So Applewhite and Coach Greg Davis, these guys taught me, how to sit in that pocket and deliver the ball, what you need to see when we call certain plays, what the defense is trying to do to you. And that's when I really became a student of the game. Was when with Coach Greg Davis and, Major Applewhite. So
Let's talk about the 2006 national championship game. And just my first question is, what was that like to be in that game?
man, that atmosphere was amazing. It's the granddaddy of them all. So I remember sitting at home, all of us, actually the year before the Michigan game, we didn't think we had a chance of going because we thinking they was going to pick somebody else, but we all was watching it on TV, waiting to see what bowl game we was going to. Then our name get announced. Longhorns against Michigan. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Because we almost messed that season up that year, about to lose to Kansas
Right.
and Oklahoma State. So, playing at the Rose Bowl and playing in them two big games to me, first of all, for Coach Brown and the whole university, it was the first time to ever go into a BCS. So that was a statement there. Then you got Texas football, and we're not doing too good the last couple of years. So that was another statement. And then they was calling us soft. Mad Dog didn't take that well. He took that out on us.
Yeah.
So we had to run extra and be there in the morning and do extra lifts. So to me, I was like we was already upset with the world because they didn't respect Texas football how they needed to be respected. So we dedicated ourselves each and every day, especially in the off season, to prepare ourselves for both seasons and to get to play. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about the other bowl games, but the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah.
It's a lot of history, and me being a part of the Rose Bowl now, was on the committee and hanging out with these guys and learning more and more history. It's a lot of history similar to the University of Texas. So to play there at that moment against that team is going to be a experience forever that we get to talk about, and I get to talk with my kids and grandkids forever.
Right. Now, you played against Reggie Bush in that game, didn't you?
Yeah.
And there was that controversy with Reggie and you and the Heisman. What was your take on all that at the time?
It bothers me. It bothered me a lot because as a player, you when you work your butt off so hard, to be even recognized in that rim with the rest of the Heisman guys that came through there, but wanted to bring it back home with Ricky Williams and Earl Campbell. We haven't had one in a while, which I felt like Colt McCoy should have won it as well. But I felt like we got snagged. And not taking anything from Reggie, because Reggie is an animal too now. He's a great player, and also having the opportunity to meet him now, he's an even better guy. So to lose that, I was hurt. I think it sparked a fire for me to go prepare myself for that game. And you wanted to play against the best, and they were the best. So I have a lot of respect for Reggie, man. And I'm he won it fair and square. So I wouldn't take that back from the world, but it was a great experience to go there to represent the University of Texas, as a nominee. So
Yeah. So college football today is very different. You've got the NIL, the portal. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I mean, it's just, every change is good, everybody just has to adapt. But the only thing I don't like about it puts a lot of, like a high school player that worked his butt off, they not really like focused on you no more. Now you can go to the portal and get a kid that's already experienced than a high school player. So that's the only thing that I don't like about it, because I have a son, I have a daughter, and they working their butt off behind the scenes right now because I'm teaching them in that and making sure. But to know that in the back of my mind, and that some of these coaches might don't want you now They probably want you later. Now I have to go about teaching my kid that, teaching my daughter that this is gonna have to be our system here for the future. So it's cool for some people that they, go through the, okay, I signed with this team for this coach, and then he ended up leaving, and now you kind of like, a lot of times when that stuff happens, that coach really don't know who you are, so he's kind of like, yeah, you can play, but you can really leave. You got all kind of these type of mindsets when you stepping into this arena now. Now you have to do that, teach your kid mentally how to prepare and handle that stuff now, because of the fact of what's today's day. This is what it is. This is what's going on.
There's more pressure.
Yeah, exactly. I tell my son and daughter, take on that pressure, because you have to deal with that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. You can't just leave a job in the corporate world. You just can't just leave. You can put a 2-3 week notice in, but you just can't just leave like that. So my mindset when I talk to kids and people, man, make sure man, like, you can't just be doing that all your life. You got to set if that's what you want to do, go fight for that job. If that quarterback is good, okay, then we finna go to war then.
Yeah.
You got to have that mindset instead of, to me, everybody else think different, but I feel like it's kind of weak-minded that you go in and then you get outbeat, or you don't want to feel like you want to, or you want more money. That's not what it's about right now.
Right.
And I feel like you should keep the mindset of, I'm the best player, have the confidence in yourself to go beat out that player or give it your best shot. If you giving it your best shot, then can't no coach, can't your mom, dad, nobody be mad at that. Now, if it's time for you to go make another move, transport port, okay. But as long as you gave it your best shot, then we can understand that. But if you can't just, somebody throwing some money in your face, or this person in your ear giving you all this negative, good information, but it's not good right now. Let me focus on me being this best player that I can be. And then when the offseason comes, we can talk about that. But right now, I need to be the best player to my teammates, my coaches. You got to commit yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to teach young players and people that I have come access to. Don't be this weak-minded people. Don't be letting all these people in your ear, give you all these ideas. And what was your ultimate goal when you was in high school, middle school, and little league? Was to make it and fight for it and work your butt off to get there.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about NFL. How was the transition for you mentally, emotionally, going from college football to pro football?
yeah, it was tough. I mean, a lot of people don't understand this is a billion-dollar industry, so you got to understand the professionalism. How much this organization is investing in you. It's kind of like what I'm saying just a while ago. Like, you got to understand, like, this university is investing in you. So you got to invest yourself. So you got to be professional about everything. So this your brand, So when you step into the pros, this is these grown men out here, and everybody in this locker room and at the other team, your opponents, everybody is fighting to take care of their family. This is real life right here. It's the game we love, and I love Sundays, but Monday through Saturday, it's working. It's a lot of preparation. It's a lot of studying. When they mean be the first there and be the last to leave, it's for real, as a quarterback, especially as a quarterback. But you got guys or other guys that feel the same way, and they're in there late like that with you too, leaving late.
Yeah.
So you got to understand, like, to dedicate yourself and understand and finding out, studying the defensive coordinators now. Like me, I tell people when I got to the pros, I wasn't really worried about the players no more. I already knew they was good. I already compete against them. Now as a quarterback, I'm competing against the defensive coordinator now. I got to study him. What is he doing on third down? What is he doing on second down? Is it high percentage, low percentage blitz? Is he running cover two? Is he running cover three? I got to study like that now. And that takes a lot of time. So you have to dedicate yourself when you get to the pros, because they can go get draft another person and cut you and release you. So you got to show your hard work and your dedication and be professional. And I tell my son this today, you got to start being professional at a younger age.
Yeah.
Got to carry yourself just like this in high school. You're going to get better in college, and you're going to get better in the pros with it. So you might as well learn how to be professional now.
You had some trials and tribulations at Tennessee, some with the coach. What was that like for you?
It was tough because I never dealt with that before. So, all my life I had a a player's coach. And then when I got to the pros with Coach Fisher, he was more of a coach player. So it was different, to adjust to it. But at the same time, I didn't let that bother me. And we had our conflicts and we had our ups and downs. But it was a learning process for me. Because I had guys like Coach Brown and Coach Ray Seals that, they was more player coaches. So it was easy to play for them because you can feel they cared about you. Not saying Coach Fisher didn't. It was just a little different to understand him as a coach. And then when you coming from that type of environment to another new environment, it was just a major adjustment for me. So at the time, I just tried to go play my game. So when I was there, Sundays was my release from him to go show the world and him that I felt like he didn't believe in me anyway, that I can do this and win you a Super Bowl. But during the week of it, it was kind of like, and I didn't want to be there because I felt like it was negative energy between me and my head coach. And that's kind of hard to focus as a quarterback when you feel like your head coach ain't got your back. So that was a tough experience for me, but it definitely taught me some stuff as well.
Yeah. And we talked a little bit earlier, you're really close to Steve McNair. And obviously he died tragically. And how did you deal with that?
That was tough because I was just with him. Because we have OTAs during this time of year when you have your little small mini camps and stuff like that. So, having him around, and he had just opened up the Gridiron, a new restaurant, and a lot of us left practice and went to the grand opening and hung out with him. And I love you, proud of you. And I was like, hey, I'm going to Costa Rica this weekend, and I see you when I get back. And he was like, yeah, I'm going fishing. And first thing I get a call is when I landed, Pop gone. I was like, what do you mean he's gone? Yeah, he told me he was going fishing. So I'm like, yeah, he told me he's gone. But no, he's like, he's gone, he's dead. I was like, he heard it. I instantly cried right then and there because he was like a father figure to me. And my father wasn't in my life. So he was the closest thing to me as a father figure. And to get that call during a trip to Costa Rica, my first time ever going, the whole trip was bad. I even left early to come back home, to come back to Nashville to try to, get to myself and kind of think a little bit and, get around the family, the kids and everybody. It was a tough situation. And I think I went through a whole lot from his death, and 3 years after, I went through a whole little nightmare. I felt like I thought the whole world was against me at one point. So, but at the same time, he did a lot of stuff for me in my life that I cherish and take with me for a long time.
I've heard that you're close to Andy Reid as well. Did Coach Reid help you through some of these times?
Yeah, Andy did too. I was going through the whole not playing ball no more and making that transition from retiring to trying to figure out what's my move in life. And, I was out doing the wrong stuff, drinking and partying and, trying to find my way of fighting through pain or mental health, all the stuff that I had dealing with me at that time, and got a DWI. So coach called me like, hey, you all right? I just want to check on you and tell you I love you and care about you, and I understand, and I think you should think about going and get some therapy. And me as a young man, I'm like, I don't need that, or, you don't want to do that. And he was like, nah, I'm going to send you a number, call this guy, and y'all talk it over and see if this would be a best move for you. And it actually was. I went to rehab for 2 months in Malibu. I think that was the best that I ever felt in a long time, because the lady said, you slept for 2 weeks. You know that, right?
Wow.
That's how mentally drained and tired I was.
Yeah.
So, because, after we won a Rose Bowl, I declared that I was leaving for the pros, and my life was like that for like 6-7 years, constantly all over the world, just doing all kind of stuff, which was a blessing. Met so many people in my life but wasn't taking care of Vince. And it all came crashing down on me, and I don't blame nobody but myself. So I can honestly say that call for Andy is to show you what type of person he is.
Yeah.
He still cared about me, even though I wasn't even playing for. He was in Kansas City, and I had been retired, and I'm still on his mind to this day that he cared about me to even give me a call. So, I talk to Andy a lot when I get a chance. I always send him a text or tell him, "Great job."
Yeah.
I like that play right there, buddy. I wish you would have called that for me. But I give him a lot of love and props too, because again, for him to call me in the middle of the night and felt that pain that I was going through, because he went through it with losing his sons and stuff like that. So he felt it, and he gave me a call, and I thought that was another blessing that he did, and that God blessed me with, to have a relationship with Andy Reid.
Yeah. So a lot of NFL players struggle when they leave the NFL with various things. What do you tell players in the NFL today? What's your advice to them?
Well, I always tell people, young men and young ladies, like, how you trying to be the best athlete, how much time you put in running out there in that football field or in that gym, getting that extra shot up, or at track practice, all that hard work, that time you put in is now what you have to do now as a professional businessman, whatever you want to be, whatever that is. You have to put the time in. So if it's a webinar or a conference going on in Austin or whatever that industry that you're trying to be in, you have to start being visible for that stuff. You have to go sit in there like a classroom and learn, because while you was playing ball trying to be a the best athlete, you was missing out on all this knowledge and information what's going on in the world. So, I mean, you was getting it, but you wasn't getting it like for your own self, you there. And to see people see me in business meetings and going to different things, they like, I didn't expect you to be here. I thought you would have your representation here. I'm like, no, that got me in trouble when I did that. So no, if we having a meeting, well, we all gonna be in this thing together, and I'm gonna be asking questions and showing you how professional I am, that I'm really committed to being a part of whatever this is, and that's why I really feel like some of the things that I'm doing now in business is going to all work out because of the way I'm involved. They already was doing good, but now I put a little extra on it. So I'm putting in my time and studying and going to the meetings and board meetings and studying the acronyms or all this type of, especially in engineering business right now. Oh my God, you got so many acronyms. I'm learning these things and I'm talking it in these meetings, and they like, wow, Vince, you really involved. I'm like, yeah, because I'm hanging around the office, I'm studying, I'm doing this, I'm reading this, or I'm going to these webinars or these conferences, and I'm around it. So I'm definitely going to learn it and pick it up. So I tell another kid, and when you're doing that, that's how much time you got to put into it. You got to put your work in it.
A lot of players have trouble leaving the games, and a lot of people retire and come back. They just miss it. They miss the rush. They miss the crowd. Did you have those feelings after you left? Did you miss it when I go back?
Not as much, because one of the things that I do is I make myself visible for my Longhorns. So even though I wasn't playing, I was still involved. Like with the Titans, I try to, I already accepted that I'm done, but I will not let nobody tell me not to have fun. And it's like the best time to be around your fans and go and cheer for my Longhorn buddies. I call my little brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They make me happy, because just to see them excited and having fun and experiencing something that I experienced as well, I know the feeling, and I get to live that through them, and I get to live it, being at the games, and it's fun. So I really feel like I would be a part of football forever. It's just the way how you want to carry yourself. And me, I already, again, like I said, I accepted that, football was over for me, but that don't mean I can't be a part of it. So, as a guy like myself, I just keep kind of tell guys like, man, just go find your niche in it and stay around and be visible. A lot of people like, man, you still get a lot of crazy love. I'm like, because I'm involved. I'm here. I'm celebrating. When we went and lost all 6 years of losing, getting our bubble up, that hurt for me too.
Yeah.
And so I'm experiencing it too. So I'm still a part of it, hanging around the guys, talking to the quarterbacks, like, man, do this, do this. I'm still a part of it. So I'm gonna always be a part of football forever. And then my kids are playing sports now. So I get to, also be a dad, but also be there for them. And like, man, I saw that. If you would have made one more step, you would have got him. I'm living it through them and seeing it and having a good time with it more than like trying to push him and get on their nerves. I'm like, man, I'm having fun with you. Seeing that when you was right here, now you're here, you made that move now, or you made that throw, or you made that shot. I'm proud, just a proud dad to be a part of, just being still a part of sports.
That's a fantastic way to look at it, really is. And I know you've remained involved to this day with UT, not just the football program, but the school. What are you doing these days with the school and with the program?
Yeah, just being visible, being like an ambassador to the point, like, going to help raise money for the UT Elementary School, scholarships, just being around those guys. They just redid our stadium. I'm like, dude, I want to sign over again. I look like, this is unbelievable over here. So experiencing that and being around the atmosphere, all our UT alums, chapters, like it got events across the world. I have been to London, and we got Texas chapters out there. And just to go hang out with them and watch football and talk football, it was fun. Being in Dubai, doing the same thing in Dubai, like we have Texas chapters everywhere. So I get to go around and hang out with a lot of the UT alums and have a good time talking about football, but also network, what's going on, what guys are doing, how can I support, still giving back to the community in another special way now. Not running the ball and throwing touchdowns no more, but now I can go be visible and hang out with their kids at a event and help them raise money for whatever they raising money for. And that's what it's all about, which I love about the University of Texas, that we all to this day support each other in everything we're doing. And if you need something, like you were saying earlier, as an ex-player, we UT guys, alumni is pretty much own or part of something across the world.
Yeah.
If you want to tap into that, that's the time you have to put in the dedication to get involved with that. And our UT alumni base does that.
So do you think, switching to football coming up, do you think Coach Sark has put together that team that's going to pull it off next year?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't understand that the first couple of years with Coach Starr, they didn't have a locker room. They didn't even have a team meeting room. So they was basically just walking around campus like, we're meet here. And that's kind of tough and when you building chemistry and character. So one thing about Coach, man, he believes and this is his dream job. So he really cares. He's enjoying coaching the players, also graduating these players. So he's like right there to the point of one play away, one field goal away, one offensive pass interference, whatever holding they called on us. He's one play away from that, and to have that type of team that understand the chemistry and they having fun together, that's what helps you win a championship. And I really feel like that's what we had with Coach Brown. We all cared about each other. We all did what we had to do to take care of our responsibilities to meet that goal.
Yeah, Coach Sark, he seems to me like he's a player's coach too.
Oh yeah. He's been around a lot. He's been through his own adversity as well.
Yeah.
So when you have that in a coach, that he can stand in front of you and tell his testimony that, hey man, whatever y'all going through, I have went through as well. And I understand, I get it. When a coach tell you that it makes you want to play harder for him.
So what do you think about Arch Manning? What do you think's in his future at UT?
Whatever he wants. But he can't get distracted. So, that's the only thing I can tell him, that when, playing at the University of Texas, you basically is an NFL quarterback. That's all they have in Texas. They was trying to bring the Raiders down to Austin and have it between San Antonio and Austin.
Right.
They couldn't compete with UT. So that's how big that school is. So he just got to, focus in, which he has a great mentors, got great dads, uncles and everything. And then got me coming through there saying, hey man, I'm proud of you. This is what you need to do, giving him my experience here on this campus.
Yeah.
You just got to carry yourself how you carrying yourself right now. But what I do love about him, he's funny. He got character. He's exciting. He's won the locker room already. You can't coach that. That's just something that he has in him.
He's a leader.
He's a natural born leader. So a lot of times some players are just not like that. Some people, they play through their game. But when you have a guy he can do it with his game and voice in the locker room, and especially when them guys are not in the locker room, it's the major deal. What are they doing in Austin when they not on campus?
Right.
And you got a quarterback, hey, make sure we taking care of our responsibilities. That resonate a long way with your teammates when you got a guy with your coaching staff that I know that I can trust my quarterback to make sure everybody's not doing some negative stuff. They taking care of their responsibility. And that was what I did a lot with my teammates. I was checking on, where you at? I heard you over here, get out of there. Little small things like that, man. You're going to jeopardize our season, because if you over here doing this, it's going to be in the media. It's going to be in the media, especially this media they got now. Whatever they do, you can't do that, because you're going to jeopardize us as a team, and that's not our ultimate goal, is to be looked at like that. We want to be the top team coming in for go to war for this championship.
Yeah. Last question. If you could go back in time and talk to yourself when you were 18, with all that you've learned, all that you've been through, all your successes, all your tribulations, what would be that advice that you give yourself back then?
I say make sure you got the right people around you. Foundation is strong and button up. And what I mean by that, you want to set people around you that don't want nothing from you. Their bellies are already full. They just care about you, really. And that's what I honestly have in my life. I didn't have my foundation right. I thought these guys were, but they took advantage of me and did a lot of things that wasn't who I am and my brand, what I was selling. So
we're talking about your managers and people like
managers and every day-to-day financial, everybody. Make sure the right people you got around you, even you're down to your girlfriend, your wife. Make sure everything around you is, they don't want nothing from you but see you happy. Their belly is full. They are successful in life. They just want to see you be successful. And it's not a lot of those people, but they are. It's a lot. It is actually a lot of those people out there that do give a damn about you. And that's the people you have to put around you, that they see the potential, that not just in sports, but period. They know your heart. They know how you function. They know how you move. That's the people you want around you, because they're going to protect you, and they're not going to steal from you. They're going to give you more knowledge and information about stuff that they're already doing in their business. How you get the right financial advisor around you, how to learn financial literacy, how to have a right protective business guy. All these things, they're doing it, and they can give you the whole structure and the land on how to do that. So you just got to make sure that you understand that and grow up a little quicker, which they are, because they're making all this money. So you got to make sure you got the right people around you. And I'm good to know that a lot of them do. With all these guys on budgets, to hear that they mom and dad is, nope, you can't have none of that. That's good. So make sure you got that foundation strong and right, because there's going to be so many sharks coming at you. You want to be able to just walk through there and that stuff just bouncing off you, like, say no. Can't do it. My team, my mom, and they said no.
Yeah. Find those people that can lift you up.
Yeah.
In life, right?
Lift you up in life, because you're going to have your bumps and bruises, but if you have your foundation right and the right people around you,
there you go.
They're going to always say, hey, it happens. They're going to give you a nice, beautiful message that can get you out of that day that you feel really down on yourself. And you're going to need somebody in your corner that's going to be, no, it's okay, man. That stuff happens. Learn from it and move on. Don't be moping and crying and doing all that, man. Just come like you did. Come talk to me. And then I recommend people to go get kid therapy, once or twice a week. I mean, me and my son go to therapy together.
That's great.
So I get to know about him, what's bothering him. You know what's bothering me. We all talking freely in here. So you have to be like that, and I want you to be like that with me. Sometimes kids don't have that type of relationship with their mom and dad when they get a little older.
Right.
But I'm starting that trend now that we can go to therapy together.
Great.
And when you go to college, we got Zoom now. So even though we're not in the same room together, but we on this call together.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses no more as a parent for one, and there's no excuses for a kid. So now this is what you're going to need, because it's going to be tough and not going to be easy. But if you got therapy and you got the right people around, you start doing positive things like that, and you're going to be all right.
Well, you see what's probably coming for your son with college football, NFL, and so you're preparing him for that now.
Well, not just sports, just me. I tell people I don't even talk to my son. I don't even talk to the UT players like that. I talk about mental stuff. I already know you guys are going to be talented.
Yeah.
I mean, we can have fun and talk about that if you have any questions. Yeah, I'm always for that. But me, when I'm talking to people in the world, kids and young ladies, I'm talking about mental stuff. What triggers you? You got to figure out all this stuff now. Because me, when I went to therapy, I didn't know, because I had my dad in my life that would trigger me. That triggered me. We talked a lot about that, and to the point that I broke down in tears. That a lot of my frustration was because I didn't have my father figure in my life.
Right.
So I was taking it out on the wrong people. I was going to drink instead of doing what was right, making those type of decisions. So I want my son and my daughter and anybody else that I come in contact with to understand the mental part of this. If you can stay mentally stable and strong through all this, and make sure you have the tools for it, because a lot of people don't have the tools. I didn't have the tools neither, and that's why I was making these bad decisions and choices.
Right.
Now I have these tools. Now I love cooking now. I love playing golf. I love going to talk to my therapist. Like all these things I didn't know about. Now I'm rejoicing in it. So I want him to understand that as well, my daughter and anybody else I come in contact with. Make sure your mental game is intact.
Yeah.
With the physical.
Has your faith played a big role in your life and your success?
Yes. Understanding the Bible and understanding Proverbs and having that relationship with my pastor, going to church, staying involved with the word. That's just my family.
Has it always been that way?
Always been like that. I mean, all day at church, 7:30, 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock, sometimes in program in the evening. So yeah, I grew up in the church. So my mom and Pastor Smith, Samuel Smith, everybody knows him around here. My Fort Worth, Texas. So that was major too. So a lot of people still have that, and my son has that. Just waiting on him to get baptized. That's it. It's not gonna push you to do it, but you need to hurry up. But you gotta have spiritual in there. But that all comes back to what I was saying, that mental stage.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of like preach that to a lot of people I come in contact with, because I really feel like that's been helping me right now, is being mentally tough through a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. Do you have any projects you're working on you can share? Anything going on that's exciting coming up for you?
Yeah. Well, pickle and wings, if you like pickleball, we'll have one of the largest
Oh, wow.
pickle and wings establishment right here in Sugar Land area.
Excellent.
18 courts. So indoor, outdoor, and it's going to be fun. Got that. And
When is that open?
We think in August, and you know how it is with permits and all this type of stuff. But it'll be fun. It's gonna be fun. I got a great team. We've been working at it and doing our diligence and everything. Going to all the other ones, sneaking in on. Oh, that's what they're doing, huh? Yeah. We're gonna do ours a little bit bigger though. So and then have an indoor. I think that's gonna be it's gonna help out a lot, because it gets hot in Texas. So that's gonna be fun. But that's one of the things I'm doing. I got my hands in a lot of stuff, but cross fitness gyms, I don't know if y'all know those. We open those up left and right now. So teaching health and wellness is very important.
Great.
And we get a lot of clients that never been in the gym before ever.
Yeah.
And we like, it's no judgment here.
Uh-huh.
Come on in here and come learn and come take care of yourself, your body. Because you can't be out there eating all this stuff and doing all this and not doing no kind of burn, not taking care of your body. So especially when you get up in those ages,
Yeah.
you got to make sure you take care of your body a little bit more. And me playing the game all my life, I'm still coaching and learning myself how to, as I get older, how to take care of my body more and better. So that's one of my things I love doing, is giving people information and knowledge, because a lot of people just don't know.
Yeah.
And if you, a guy like myself that give a damn, I have no problem taking time on my day to go teach health and wellness or financial literacy, these type of things that people just don't know.
Do you play pickleball?
Not yet. I'm about to. I heard it's fun, but I have watched it and portrayed and, hitting the ball a little bit. But
Yeah.
I think by the time it gets going, might be one of those kids fighting and trying to get to the Olympics. Just depend on these knees, though.
Yeah.
Depend on these knees because they get to hurting sometimes.
I bet. Well, guys, that concludes our first podcast with none other than Vince Young. I mean, what a way to start off the Podspire podcast. We're so grateful for him for coming today and sharing what he shared. So that's a wrap.